Once upon a time, in a little cottage with ivy-covered walls, a lonely woman wished for a child. "Oh, if only I had a child to love," the woman said sadly. One day, a kind old fairy heard her wish. She gave the woman a magic seed. "Plant this, water it, and wait for a surprise," said the fairy mysteriously. So the woman planted the seed, and poof! A beautiful flower bloomed, and right in the middle, sitting on a golden petal, was a teeny tiny girl, no bigger than a thumb. "Oh, you're perfect," the woman said, gasping with joy. "I'll call you Thumbelina." Thumbelina became the happiest little girl in the coziest little home. But trouble was coming. Big trouble. One night, while Thumbelina slept in a walnut shell bed, a great big toad with bulging eyes peeked through the window. "What a fine wife she'll make for my son. He's, well, a little slimy, but he's a catch," the toad said, croaking smugly. The toad snatched Thumbelina up and plopped her on a lily pad in the middle of the pond. "Hey, where am I? This is not my cosy little bed," Thumbelina said, gasping as she woke up. The toad's son, a big blobby fellow, swam up and gave a goofy grin. "Gurgle, ribbit, marry me," he said, bubbling. "No, thank you." "Absolutely not," Thumbelina said firmly. But poor Thumbelina was stuck. She had no way off the lily pad until a friendly school of fish swam by. "Psst, that girl does not belong here," the fish leader whispered to his friends. The fish nibbled the stem of the lily pad, snap, and set Thumbelina floating down the stream. "Way! Goodbye, toads!" Thumbelina cheered. Just as Thumbelina was enjoying her ride, a big bossy beetle swooped down. "Well, aren't you fancy? You'll make a lovely guest at my beetle party," the beetle said, grabbing her smugly. But at the party, the other beetles frowned. "She only has 2 arms," a beetle whispered. "No wings? How strange." Another beetle giggled. Feeling embarrassed, the beetle dropped Thumbelina into a flower patch and buzzed away. "Well, that was rude," Thumbelina said, dusting herself off and sighing. Autumn leaves fell and cold winds blew. Poor Thumbelina shivered. Then she spotted a little mouse hole. "Come in, dear. Stay warm. But mind your manners. My neighbour, Mr. Mole, is very important," the mouse said kindly, patting a cushion. Mr. Mole was rich, serious and, well, a little boring. "Ahem. I like tunnels. Dark, deep, dirt-filled tunnels," Mr. Mole said, clearing his throat. The mouse thought Mr. Mole would make a great husband for Thumbelina. "Say yes, dear. He's very rich," the mouse whispered. "Oh, I'd rather not," Thumbelina said nervously. Thumbelina didn't want to live underground forever, but what could she do? Then, one day, she found a tiny frozen bird in the tunnel. "Oh no, I won't let you freeze," Thumbelina gasped. She wrapped the bird in a warm leaf and sang sweet lullabies. Slowly, the little bird, who was really a swallow, opened its eyes. "You saved me," the swallow said weakly, then gratefully. Spring finally arrived, and the swallow was ready to fly home. "Come with me. We'll find a place full of sunshine and flowers," the swallow chirped excitedly. "Yes, yes, please," Thumbelina said, gasping with joy. So Thumbelina climbed onto the swallow's back, and whoosh, off they soared, high above forests and rivers, past mountains and meadows until, "Oh, it's beautiful," Thumbelina said in awe. Below them stretched a field full of flowers, each with a tiny fairy inside, and standing among them was the most handsome fairy prince she had ever seen. "Welcome, Thumbelina. Would you like to stay?" the prince said, smiling warmly. Thumbelina took one look at the sunny meadow, the colourful flowers, and the kind prince. "I'd love to," Thumbelina said, laughing happily. The fairies gave her shimmering wings, and from that day on, she was no longer Thumbelina the Tiny. She was Thumbelina the Fairy Queen. Thumbelina flew away with Fairy Prince and found her mother's home. "Oh, Thumbelina, you don't know how happy I am to get you back," the mother said, her voice filled with joy. "I will never let you go away from me now. I will never leave you," the mother continued, hugging her tightly. "Mother, mother," Thumbelina said, laughing with happiness as she was welcomed back. And they lived happily ever after. The end.